And good morning, my friends. Another day where we're going to start off at Coronado Spring Tower. Here's my buddy Luke. He's with us today again. Where are we going today, Luke? Why don't you tell everybody where we're going? What's on your shirt? What does it say?
NASA.
We're going to NASA today. What are we going to see there?
Oh boy.
We're going to see
rocket ships.
Kane, what are we going to see at NASA? Are we going to see the space shuttle?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Kane could care less at this point. He's on a mission. Right? Right. So, but before we go, we got to stop and get some snacks and some coffee at Coronado Springs. I'm using my cup here, and it's all free with the plan that we got. So let's head inside. When you walk in, this is what it looks like in the tower area. That's what we have. Very pretty, I will say that. Front desk is over here to your right when you walk in. And then you go downstairs to get to the restaurants, conventions. This is more of a convention place than anything else, you guys, to be honest with you. But make our way down the steps here. Hopefully I won't trip. If I will, you're all going to get to see that happen. Bars over there. And then you have the boardroom back there. Big windows. Look at the outdoor place. You can sit outside. They've got games, chairs out there. Got the whole family and crew down here eating. Over here is more snacks. This is the Barcelona Lounge over there. So, and there's Luke again. The thing that is interesting about this is you leave the main room there, and you have to go all the way down these halls or whatever to what was the original front desk. No joke. And it's a little hike, that's for sure. A little hike. Still continuing down. Like I said, decent walk, I promise you that, to get down here to where we're going. It is a pretty big resort area. As a matter of fact, if I look out there, all those buildings over there is just maybe a quarter of the place that we have, or that they have here. So, just an idea. And we made it to what was the original check-in hotel. This is where it used to be, all here. And then they built that new tower that we came through on, and they made this like a business center. I'm going to be honest. This is obviously, it is a business convention type resort, and there's no doubt about it. It is. I'm not, I don't know. I guess I'm used to other things. You know, like All-Star Resort and whatever. It's got the fountain here. A lot of pennies. I see that. Next thing we're at is Cafe RX. And I don't know how much you can read with the reflection there. Oh, Rick's. R-I-X. Okay, we can get some coffee, cold brew, and some morning delights. Okay.
Well, in still the hotel.
Right.
In the hotel, but we're in the hallway now. There's our family. also He is the... Goodbye, everyone.
Made it to Titusville. We're getting there, little by little. There it is, 8 miles ahead, Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Oh, big bridge. Badge bridge, actually. BAB building over there. NASA cop there. And the building you see, maybe, I don't know, with the cranes, that's going to be the new SpaceX building.
6 minutes. I honestly thought it was a real thing. Hold it on. What do I know?
That's a long time to hold the breath. You should try.
Okay.
Here we go. We have made it, and our family is so happy to be with one another. We've talked lawsuits, we've talked payoffs, and we've even brought our Disney bands. That's right, we're having Disney fun for NASA.
Yep.
And that's where we're at, boys and girls. We are at the Kennedy Space Center for the day. And we're making our way up there. Got to go to the American flag area. That's where we're going.
Hello.
Main entrance, that's where we're heading to. We're going to explore. Oh yeah, and we were playing the alphabet game. There's the X. We had trouble looking for it one time. Let's explore, people, explore. And there we go, gang. We have made it. We have made it.
Here we go, guys. We passed security and now rockets. See,
Alright, let's go
rockets.
see that one. I mean, all of these do that.
And here we go to explore. Here is the rocket ships. The rocket ships right there. And that is the rocket ships.
Here we go. This is the rocket garden. These are actual rockets that were either built or have flown into space, they say, and have come back. Not all of them, but most of them. And right over there, the Heroes and Legends Astronaut Hall of Fame, as you first walk in.
Here we are going off the ramp.
Alright, come on, buddy.
Here we are at the same place, but with a great view of this. Now,
The space program was just starting, and when they put out their criteria for the type of people they wanted, I seem to have all the qualifications that they were looking for. My combat experience in the Marine Corps in the Pacific was a factor. The Marines were being tossed into some of the toughest combat in the early World War II, and then went back out in the Korean War. Well,
at right now is the Mercury Atlas. Yes. The Atlas 8 rocket was vital, not to demonstrate that we can put a man into space, but to keep him there. And while displayed here with a Mercury Redstone, the capsule was launched using a larger Mercury Atlas rocket, which paved the way for longer orbital flights. This is a pretty cool, like I said before, we've never been inside the Hall of Fame for astronauts, and what a show it put on. I mean, it was really cool. So the next thing we're looking at here, my friends, is the Mercury Mission Control for Friendship 7 in 1962. Can I tell you that I was born in 62? So obviously I don't remember this. I do remember Apollo 11 though. I will admit that. I do remember that. So let's talk about this. What you see here at the consoles was a team of pioneers assembled for one purpose, to send man into space. And although they never left the ground, these principled individuals were just as invested as the lone astronaut hurling into the skies. They possessed extraordinary focus and dedication, guiding pilots through brand new dangers of unknown space conditions and unpredictable technology. Yes, some very smart people in order to get us to the moon.
He is still at the mission control, and here's some of this. That controls that. So that's cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast up. It's kind of like the Millennium Falcon. It's kind of like the Millennium Falcon, right? Papa,
Yes, I'm sorry.
do you remember the Millennium Falcon at Disney?
I do remember the Millennium Falcon at Disney. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love riding that. And you were the pilot. Twice.
That side and that side.
That's right. Both sides.
I was Han Solo and
You were Chewbacca. Yep. At one.
You were Chewbacca first.
I was Chewbacca first. That's right. You are absolutely right, buddy.
I could have sit back and relax because I didn't do that much. So this and that is mostly like the Millennium Falcon. There we go. It is Journey. The afternoon is in Journey.
The way we make things now, why haven't we sent back even a satellite or camera or something back to Apollo 11's landing site and see what it's like?
See you guys on the next video. Bye.
All right, Kane, what did we win at NASA today? Show us what's in the bag. We were winners today. What did we get?
2 hats.
Hats, okay. What else?
2 space ice
Show the camera.
Space
Ice cream. Boys are really excited for that. Probably going to be disappointed.
Whoa.
Mom and Dad are excited about that.
And?
And then show the one on your shirt too.
Nice.
Go ahead.
I won a prize.
What prize did you win?
Ice cream. Space ice cream.
Space ice cream?
What else?
2 hats.
2 hats,
2 hats.
a mug.
A mug and 2 pins.
Awesome, dude.
Hats.
You won because
I beat 2 pins.
you're a cute kid and you're wearing a NASA shirt. All right, good job. Here you go. I'm gonna stop this.
Now that we made our way back outside, let me explain what happened. We won. We walked into the Hall of Fame, Astronaut Hall of Fame, just to take a look at, you know, those who've been inducted and everything. And 3 people from NASA walked up to us and asked if, you know, we were enjoying ourselves. And the next thing you know, they're telling us, you guys are winners today. And everything that you saw Kane pull out of the bag, we were winners. That's what we got to keep it. So how cool is that? Love it. All right, we're back at the Rocket Garden again. That's where we're at. And would I recommend the Hall of Fame? Yes, not just because we won prizes, but no, seriously, very cool place to learn things and about, you know, how some of the things came together. So please, if you're out here, check it out. Astronaut Hall of Fame. All right, so trying to do my best here to get everything in. The first thing I saw when we walked into the next building that we're going to, and that is right here, a 1/25th scale of Artemis. Up next, we have the Orion capsule, built for NASA by Lockheed Martin. The Orion spacecraft was designed for the new era of deep space exploration, capable of carrying crew and cargo to the moon and eventually to Mars. So what are we looking at now? Well, SpaceX. Yeah, Elon Musk. This is one of his rockets that has retired, and they've got it hanging in here. And I was just telling Debbie, you got to admit, especially as old as I am, to be able to see a rocket like this, not only to take off from the Kennedy Space Center, but to return to a boat out in the middle of the ocean. And you retrieve it and reuse it that way. Now, granted, NASA had the space shuttle. It was like a glider. It would land on the runway. But this actually comes back. And it's like, that is so cool. It really, really is. Give him credit for this. Here's something that's different compared to from the Apollo missions to the space shuttle missions. This is Boeing's new suits, spacesuits. And it only weighs, with all accessories on, 20 pounds. But that's the new one that all Boeing missions will be using. Anybody that flies on Boeing spacecraft. And this is for the SpaceX spacesuit. And this is what they wear. What we're doing right now is we're making our way to the bus tours, but as we walk to the area that we have to go to, here is the ATX, or astronaut training experience, that you can do, okay? Also, I'll swing around, there's where the bus tours are, that's where we're going. And then you have the Red Rock Grill and Journey to Mars, NASA, and in the background, ooh, part of the shuttle. We're in line. We're in line, gang. So, good crowd this morning, doesn't surprise me. At least we're in the shade and there are some fans blowing. So right now at noon it is 90 degrees out. So it's not that bad.
Here we are at the bus stop. Yep, we're at the bus stop. Little noisy.
We've made it from back there, all the way through here, down that way, to here. We're almost to the front of the line, ready to board a bus for our tour today. What you're seeing while we're standing in line to take the tour of the Kennedy Space Center is actual rocket boosters and the fuel tank for the shuttle Atlantis, which is, the shuttle itself is housed inside the building there, but between the two boosters and the fuel tank there, the orange tank, those are real ones. And just like that, 50 minutes it took us to stand in line and finally get on the bus. And we're off and running now. I will tell you, obviously you can hear the music in the background and stuff. So I'm going to do this recording with no sound, at least from here, okay? And do the best I can of doing some video as well as some pictures for you to enjoy.
Their glow.
So the bus ride or tour takes us to the halfway point. I thought they did away with this last time I was out here, and that we were able to go out to the launch pads, drive by them, 39A and B. But because it's so active out here now with SpaceX and Space Force and everything else, pretty much we're right back to where we were years ago when they built this right after 9/11. And they wouldn't let anybody out there. So we're back at it again. And in 10 minutes, you'll see the rocket do its thing here. And we'll try to catch that. It'll act like it's firing a booster rocket here. The tower that we're on is 4 stories high, and that's where we're at, top floor. And out there, it's launch pads 39A and 39B. Along with SpaceX. Now take note of the SpaceX building to the right there. They actually build their rockets in there, and they will lift them out onto the pad right there, the taller pad of the two. Interesting, isn't it? And they're building the new building that you saw the picture on earlier of that I had here for SpaceX. Then going over here, you've got some other launch pads over there for the smaller rockets, and same thing over here. Blue Origin also is over here as well. The other thing I want you to take notice the gravel here, okay? See how the gravel is out there? That is where the crawler, oh, I'm better pictures of this. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, see all this gravel? It's where the crawler that hauls the rockets to the launch sites. And the one right here is the one that takes us out to 39A and B. From up here on the 4th floor, as we're looking, there's the VAB building. And the door, I don't know, I didn't bring the zoom lens, but the door on the bottom right, gray, is open. They've got the crawler in there, and they're getting ready to put together the next Artemis 3, onto that crawler. This section right here, they have the crawler. Has been here before. That's right, it's where they park the crawler.
I'm standing next to the crawler transporter, the largest self-powered land vehicle in the world.
I don't know if you can see the grooves in the gravel here, but that's where the crawler had taken or came back to the VAB building after the launch of Artemis 2.
mile per hour while carrying.
Transporter number 2 at Kennedy Space Center. Crawler Transporter 2 is used for the SLS program to take the launch vehicle back and forth to the pad. To move the rocket from the Vehicle Assembly Building, or the VAB as we call it, to the launch pad, a certified operator carefully maneuvers the crawler underneath the mobile launcher where the SLS is stacked. We then pick up the mobile launcher and the SLS rocket together and slowly, very slowly, carry it to the launch pad. It's a 4.2-mile trip that takes 7 to 8 hours. We'll roll over a specifically prepared crawler weight that consists of river rock anywhere from 8 to 12 inches thick. Below that is limestone that's 4 to 5 feet thick that is hydraulically compressed. And then below that is another 20 to 30 feet of sand, which supports the weight of the crawler and the mobile launcher as we roll over top of it. Once we're at the launch pad, we drop off the mobile launcher and the SLS rocket. And after the launch, we come back, pick up the mobile launcher with the crawler again, and bring it back to the VAB. Then we'll repeat this process for the next Artemis mission.
With 50 years and some 3,000 kilometers or 2,000 miles on the clock, NASA expects the crawlers to be in operation for at least another 3 decades. How cool is that? The crawler will be doing what it was originally designed to do once again, which is moving rockets.
All right, here comes the VAB building. That's the Boeing tower out there. There's the VAB, and the crawler is inside right there. See it? The door's open. That's the crawler inside there.
That one with the slanted windows, that building is the Launch Control Center, or LCC, where launch directors and their teams oversee every NASA rocket that lifts off from the Kennedy Space Center, and it's where they give the final go or no-go for launch. We're inside the LCC now with Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, NASA's first female launch director. So Charlie, tell me what your role is as launch director, and then what happens inside this room?
The launch director is responsible for working with the team on the launch commit criteria, the rules with which we are go, no-go. There's a lot that we have to do to be ready for launch.
So what's it like on launch day for you and the 100 engineers that you have watching the systems of the rocket before liftoff?
On launch day, this room is the hub of excitement because the team is focused, and the closer you get to T0, the quieter it gets. You can almost feel the concentration in the room.
Now, this room, of course, is very interesting. You can see from the outside that the windows are very large and they're slanted. It has an operational purpose, but it does provide quite a view of the wildlife out there.
It certainly does. But the windows are like this by design. And as you can see, as you look out the windows, what a great view you have of Launch Complex 39A and 39B.
And momentarily to your immediate right, Crawler Transporter number 1. Right
There's the 2 transporters right there. There's one.
Just past this building.
And let's get past this building here.
2 mobile launch pads.
And there they are. See them? Crawlers.
The original ones they had left over from the Apollo days. And the tower to the right is a secondary or spare tower for the Artemis missions. The primary tower is in the VAB. Kennedy have
no man had ever flown before. It was a few days before Christmas 1968 when Apollo 8 sat on the pad. She was the first of a new kind, a moon rocket. This was the Phoenix, risen from the ashes of Apollo 1. The first Apollo crew did not die in vain. This was to be their testament. "36 stories high, she had been fully fueled throughout the night. The liquid oxygen in her tanks caused ice to form on the outside of the craft. The extreme temperature differences between the air and the sub-zero fuel caused the metal skin of the rocket to expand and contract. Everyone who was on the pad agreed. It was as though the rocket was alive, breathing, straining at the leash. Earlier in the morning, astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Andrews had made their final preparations before taking that long ride out to the waiting spacecraft. The minimum safe distance from Saturn V at liftoff was 3 miles. The reason was simple. When fully fueled, the rocket contained the explosive power of an atomic bomb. As the clock counted down, the astronauts and all of us in launch control went through the pre-flight checks, our hands on the controls of the most powerful, most complex machine ever built. It had over 2 million separate systems, and to bring these men back alive, everything had to work perfectly. Each individual system had been tested, but what we didn't know was how they would perform when all 2 million began to work together. That moment would come when the countdown clock reached 0. If a maneuvering thruster failed, if communications broke down, if navigation was off by 1 degree, if any piece of the miles of wiring, circuits, relays, or valves was defective, Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders would pay with their lives. As they sat, waiting for launch on that chill December morning, these 3 astronauts were back to what they had always been, test pilots. You are now in the final minutes before the launch of Apollo 8, right here where it actually happened. Mankind is about to leave his planet behind and journey to another. It is one of those rare moments when history is not being made, destiny is being embraced.
This is launch control, T-minus 3 minutes and counting. We've completed our communications checks with the Apollo 8 astronauts in the cabin, and the communications are go. During this period, once we do get the firing command, the various tanks within the 3 stages of the Saturn V launch vehicle begin to pressurize. We have firing command. The firing command is in. We are now on the automatic sequence. T-minus 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting. Our status board indicates that all aspects are ready. Instrument unit is ready. Spacecraft ready. Final check of the emergency detection system. That ready light also on. First stage preparations are completed. All systems okay. Keep going. We're on. Ready to go to contact. Stand by, water. Okay, you're on. All systems go. 1 minute 45 seconds and counting. The first stage liquid oxygen tank has been pressurized, and the pressure is still building up. Coming up in 90 seconds, mark, T-minus 90 seconds and counting. The Apollo 8 crew standing by, spacecraft commander Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, Bill Anders. We now have a report that the liquid hydrogen tank on the 3rd stage is pressurized. 1 minute 15 seconds. All 3rd stage propellants pressurized at this time as we come up on the 60-second mark on a flight to the moon. 60 seconds and counting. The vehicle now is completely pressurized. this time, final look at the switch list aboard this spacecraft. 20 seconds, all aspects, we are still low at this time. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We have ignition sequence start. The engines are armed. 4, 3,
successfully orbited the moon, and the astronauts returning safely to the Earth. I know. I'm Jim Lovell, and I was one of the crew of this spacecraft, Apollo 8. We were the first men to see the surface of the moon from just a few miles away. But it was the hundreds of thousands of men and women who worked on that team, and the millions of people who supported the mission that really made it possible. That way, I guess, we all went to the moon. Now, on the other side of those doors, you'll find an actual Saturn V moon mine. It's still the most powerful, the most complex machine ever built. And I guess it's the only one that can take you to another planet. I actually got to fly one on a second flight to the moon called Apollo 13. But that's another story.
Now, let's correct Jim Lovell, shall we? It is no longer the biggest or the most powerful rocket anymore. Why? Because Artemis just passed that up. But it is a Saturn V rocket. That is right here, gang. All right, Saturn V. There's the rocket. There's the thrusters right here. And yes, my friends, in this building, as it stated, it is an actual Saturn V rocket here. All the way down there. All the way down. And again, it's the real thing. I want to say this is Apollo 17, would have been Apollo 17. I'll have to double check it, but it was the one Apollo that did not go. I think there was two, if memory serves me correct, that at that time President Nixon said, yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore. And they had them going, and so one of those Saturn V rockets made it into here. But huge, man, huge. Walking from underneath of it right now as we speak. And it goes all the way down. Let's see if I can get my finger in there to show you. Yeah, all the way down there. And we will get to the end of it. That I promise you. We're making our way to the end of the Saturn V, which is right up there. Rocket, that is. And lunar module right here. They say that Apollo 11, the Eagle, the bottom half where the orange foil is. Today, if we were to explore the moon and go back to their original where they landed, that would not be orange. The American flag, they believe, fell over when they took off, blasted off, and that it would be totally white now because of the rays of the sun, if we were to go back. And I wish we would. I'd like to see what it looks like. Of course, that top half right there is what they blasted off from when they were done on the moon and headed back to the rendezvous with their space capsule. And by the way, Apollo 17 was the last Apollo moon mission that left Earth. Another thing you're going to see here when you come is the Astro van. It's the van that took the Apollo astronauts to the launch pad. Yeah, and there it is. Looks like the back door's open. Let's go take a quick look. And there it is, the astronaut van. And there's where they sat. All the astronauts from Apollo was inside this. Obviously, the 3 seats here were for each astronaut. Then you had your technical crew. It was over on that side. Interesting. Even I've never been in the back of this or seen the back of it.